Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our Business Opportunity webcast. Joining me from Portland, Oregon is Royal Diamond Reid Nelson. Good evening, Reid.
Good evening, Dennis.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing fantastic.
Excellent. And my name is Dennis Estes. I'm a Royal Diamond with Nikken also. And we have the great pleasure tonight to share with you what we feel to be the greatest opportunity that exists out there in the marketplace today. I'm going to bring up a little slide here for you, and we're going to run through a series of slides and share with you uh, an idea and a concept. Discover the freedom you desire and create a more meaningful life. What should that mean to the folks that are brand new tonight, Reid, and listening to this?
Well, you look at the word discover, of course, with that, most people don't know what real freedom is.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I mean, we have freedom in our country, of course, we can come and go, we can do things we want to do, but, you know, if you're so broke that you can't do anything, you're kind of a slave to your own circumstance, and I think that we like to teach people about freedom to be able to, and it says create a more meaningful life. Well, if you have the time freedom and the financial freedom to do the things you'd really like to do. Imagine how creative you could be with your life and the things you could do. And that's what we're really talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, if you're on tonight and you're here for the purposes of listening about this opportunity called Nikken, we're going to ask you to go through an evaluation process. If you were to approach a business consultant and say, gosh, I'd like to start a business, kind of help me out a little bit. I have some ideas, but I need to bounce them off somebody in the know. That business consultant may ask you questions about the industry, the company, the products, the business plan, the support system, and then he or she would probably spend some time talking to you about you. And you notice here on this pie chart, you happen to be the biggest piece of the puzzle. And Reid, why is that? Why have we made you the biggest piece here as we consider all of these elements in evaluating a business?
Well, it's very similar to, Dennis, when you're sitting down having a conversation with somebody, you're talking and having a conversation about them,
Right.
finding out what makes them tick. I mean, you go through this whole, you want to get people to do their due diligence. And of course, doing due diligence means you look at the industries we're involved in, and the company, the products, everything. But the bottom line comes down, is this business for them? Is it for you?
Right.
You know, and that's really the biggest part of that conversation, because if they get really excited about all the things we're doing, then you becomes a very big deal. The other part of that is that most people were never taught how to make a decision.
Yes.
We talk about that all the time, that there's no such thing in college as decision making 101,
Right.
Well, we need to make sure that we want to make sure that we go through all the information with people and then have a good conversation with them, or you in this case, to help them make a decision that's correct for them.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, when we're evaluating a business, we're going to go through each one of those pieces of the pie, if you will, and look at them and see how they might relate to you as someone brand new tonight looking at this. So, first one here is from the industry. Why wellness? Why now? Why Nikken? And we know we need only turn on the television now that the election cycle is done and all those commercials and all the programming for that is gone. What are the two major drivers of the news? Well, it's healthcare and the challenges in healthcare, and it's economic news. Both of those are drivers of the media right now, and Nikken is positioned in time to take advantage of that. Why wellness? Well, as you say oftentimes, Reid, why not? Wellness is this idea of living a life of being fit, of being healthy, of being able to have your family fit and healthy. It's preventative. It's taking care of ourselves and putting ourselves in an environment whereby we can stay healthy. Now, wellness is more than just simply, being fit or being healthy. There's a whole concept, idea, and lifestyle around this. Why now? Because now is the perfect moment in time. The boomers are aging. And as we look at what begins to happen to our bodies as we age, we know that there's things that we can do to improve quality of life while we're going through that aging process. We've got a big challenge out there with children with autism and other kinds of challenges that some of the causal effects or some of the triggering effects can be mitigated through proper balance, through proper nutrition, through proper sleep and energy, etc., which is where we excel. So why Nikken? Because the world is crying out for what we have to bring to the marketplace. Reid, as you sit with folks, and I know you do this multiple times a day, how do you answer this question? Why wellness? Why now? Why Nikken?
Well, pretty much just like what you said. You look around and people say, "Wow, you guys look great." How old are you? They figure out how old we are. I tell them I'm 92, which is a lie, but you know, we live like we're younger.
Right.
And wellness it isn't about the health care. It's about the wellness industry, about staying well, staying fit,
Bingo.
staying, healthy, so we don't have to be on, it always cracks me up when I see like that picture of the gal in the wheelchair there, I feel quite bad for her actually, but, people our age say, well, I'm on 4 or 5 or 6 drugs. Turn the TV on and they say, ask your doctor if this is for you. Well, for what?
Yeah, right.
And so wellness is so we don't have to live that way. We want to live a life. Freedom, real freedom is also health. It's also being able to do physically the things you'd like to do. So wellness is really, really important. Why now? Well, yesterday's gone, tomorrow's not here yet. All we have is now, for heaven's sakes. It's now is the best time to do anything.
Right.
We've been reading, Dennis, in the book we've been studying, the University of Success, and there's that whole chapter on procrastination, and how deadly that is. Well, now is it. We need to react now. Of course, why Nikken? We are the only total wellness brand there is. And so we're really excited about there. You've heard me say this a million times, but there is nothing else out there like us.
Exactly. Positioned in time perfectly to take advantage of what's going on in the marketplace now. Well, our mission is to inspire individuals to discover a whole new way of life and provide them the opportunity to live it. Wow. I mean, there's a lot right there in those few words. And this is a mission that it's not just tacked on a wall on a corporate building someplace, but this is what each one of us live on a day-to-day basis. We're constantly striving for balance in this concept of the 5 pillars of health: healthy body, healthy mind, healthy family, healthy society, and healthy finances. And who in the world would not want to have those 5 areas in balance? You're like I am, Reid. You travel around the world. We meet with a lot of people in a lot of cultures and a lot of countries in the far corners of the world. And it doesn't matter where we're at, whether we're talking about Israel, Turkey, Latin America, Asia, here in North America, Europe, none of that matters. Everyone's looking for the same thing. And so our mission is literally to inspire individuals to discover this whole new way of life. People don't understand what they're missing, number one. And if they don't understand what they're missing, of course, there's no way they can live it. Now, when you were first introduced, Reid, not much of what was said to you really resonated other than this concept of 5 pillars of health. Is that not right?
That's correct. Absolutely. Dave Johnson had called me on the phone, and of course I didn't know Dave, so it was easy to hang up on him. But he started talking about health and wellness and all these things and magnets, and I didn't get that at all.
Right.
And but then he talked a little bit about this company's philosophy, which was this: healthy mind, body, family, society, finances, and that felt good. In here that resonated, and that's something we believed in all along. So it wasn't hard to buy into that. And I think that by and large, people that are attracted to Nikken, that resonates with them as well. I really believe that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And people are looking for that. Well, if you're looking for an opportunity, you're on the call tonight, the webcast tonight, and you're here because you're looking for an opportunity. You need a few more dollars in the pocket, if it will. You're looking for something different. You want that freedom we talked about in the beginning. Well, if that's the case, then probably you ought to align yourself with a company with an experience that has a track record of success. And as we look at Nikken here, founded in 1975, billions of dollars in total sales. And that's fascinating to me because sometimes, Reid, people will say to me, well, gosh, do your products really work? And I go, there's not that many stupid people in the world to buy billions of dollars worth of a product that doesn't work. Negative word of mouth would be out there so profoundly that you wouldn't be able to move on. And yet, here's a company that's 37 years old, continuing to expand. I mean, we've opened Chile, we've opened Ukraine, and we've opened Slovenia, all just in the last 90 days or less. A phenomenal
You meant Peru.
Pardon me?
You meant Peru.
What did I say?
Chili.
Chili. Oh, well, I'm getting ahead of myself.
Hey, listen, the people who hear this are going to be very excited. Chili's open. You didn't know.
Yeah. So Chile, we're hoping for that to be another one. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Thank you. So it's Peru and it's Ukraine and Slovenia have all been opened here in the last 90 days. We're hoping for Chile and Argentina to be coming along soon. But this is a company with a track record of success. It's a company that's going places. It's a company that's in an expansion mode. And you look around, there's not a lot of companies right now that are growing and expanding. And part of that, the reason for that is that 5A1 Dun & Bradstreet rating and the idea of millions of satisfied customers worldwide. Another element that's there, the fact that we're debt free. That gives us the freedom to be able to make these decisions to go forward. Now, Reid, when you were looking at Nikken, I know this 5A1 Dun & Bradstreet rating, that became an important element for you, and you got some interesting information back when you began to look at that.
Yeah, and when we got involved 22 years ago, it was a 3A1 actually,
Yeah.
and for their size of a company at that time, it was the best rating they could possibly get. Obviously, over the years, it just got bigger and better,
Right.
And 5A1 meaning a perfect credit rating and the largest company in size that they actually measure.
Yeah.
So they've got the very, very best. In the days when we got involved, it was also the very, very best for their size, and it meant a lot to me that they've been around a while. They had this track record, and I'm one of those guys who happens to believe that just because something's new doesn't mean it's great.
Yeah.
And this is something that really excited me. In fact, it's the way I put it to many people over the years was, it was like being involved with an old new company. It was brand new here, but it had been around a while, and that excited the heck out of me because I didn't have to worry about them going away and all that sort of thing. And if you're looking at this tonight, that should be important to you, that this company's not going anywhere. They're here to stay, and that's a very good thing.
Yeah, that's an excellent thing. And back in the day of the 3A1, one of the issues was it was not a U.S. Corporation. At that time, it was a foreign corporation. And once they came on shore and they became a U.S. corporation, that allowed them then to expand in these higher credit ratings. And so very strong, very stable company with a very profound product philosophy, bringing wellness home. This idea of innovations inspired by nature, a total wellness solution. Now, Reid, when we talk about a wellness home, what are we really referring to? We mentioned that a little bit when we talked about why wellness, why now, why Nikken, but here we are looking specifically at this idea of a wellness home. What's the advantage to the wellness home?
Well, the advantage of the wellness home, and in one of our other presentations called the Vital presentation, we talk about this. It's like being in a greenhouse, and having it being the optimal place for plants to grow. Well, imagine your home being a greenhouse, except for the optimum place for our families to grow and be well and be healthy and all that. And so in those pictures there, sleep, water, air, nutrition, light, all these things that we have are very, very important. And most homes have very minimal standards of quality of life in them.
Right.
And so we're talking about increasing the quality of life to near perfection, so that you're breathing fantastic air, you're drinking the best water, you sleep well. If you got minor, aches and discomforts in your body, taking care of those, all types of things to really create that greenhouse effect in your home. It's fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. And products that are natural and in most instances organic when it comes to our nutritional type based products. Very, very concerned about the carbon imprint, the carbon footprint, if you will, that's there. This is a company that's on the move, that's literally looking at all aspects when we talk about total wellness, looking at all aspects and providing solutions in all of those areas, whether it be daytime use products, nighttime use products, environmental like water and air, lifestyle kinds of products. There's something here. So get with the person who invited you on this webcast tonight and sit down with them, go through these product technologies and have an experience for yourself. Try some of these things out. Go through the demonstrations that we have. We don't have time on a call like this or a webcast like this to go into great detail, but you will be pleasantly surprised at the effect that you can feel in a short amount of time with these product technologies. Well, Reid, now we're going to talk a little bit about network marketing. And for those of you who might be on this webcast tonight that have a little bit of a challenge with the word network marketing, may I respectfully suggest you get over it. This is an industry whose time has come. There's a book written by Robert Kiyosaki called The Business of the 21st Century. I'm holding it here in my hand now. This book talks about why right now, at this moment in time, is the very best time to be engaged in this business. And he speaks to why now and why network marketing is such a viable opportunity. And as we look around, Reid, and we see unemployment levels the way they are in many countries around the world, we see families struggling, trying to provide even the basics, the necessities of life. We know there's a tremendous need for either an additional income. 96% of the folks involved in network marketing do it as a part-time gig when they first get started. I know I certainly did. Many people, when they begin, they're doing this on a part-time basis. And yet it's a very strong, viable opportunity that can soon replace your existing income. But what excites me here, first of all, the quote from Robert Kiyosaki: the richest people in the world build networks. Everyone else looks for work. Network marketing is a brilliant way for someone to build a network at low cost. And we see that third bullet point: more than 200 million people will enter in the next decade. That spells opportunity to me, Reid. That spells out to me that people are looking, and we know through our research and what we're actually doing, boots on the ground, that we're finding for the first time in history, people are actually shopping for network marketing opportunities. What's been your observation?
Well, same thing. I mean, that number there is an exciting number to me. 200 million people. You know, I just want a few.
Give me 6 or 7 of those.
We don't need 200 million to make something happen. But that just means, like you say, there's people out there looking. And, in my experience in network marketing, which is in December 40 years, we have never seen people literally looking for us.
Right.
And I mean, there's people looking for something, but now they're actually looking for network marketing. They're investigating, they're looking, what's the best choice for me to make, that sort of thing. And so with that in mind, and of course with technology the way it goes and the internet, and there is so much, the social media. I mean, just pile it on. There are people looking, and a lot of people looking. We just have to be aware and make sure that we are ready to accept them.
Yes.
Because they're looking for us. So we've got to be ready and willing and educated enough to make something happen with them.
Absolutely. What's interesting, Reid? We're looking at the words network and marketing, 2 words. And some people just have an absolute knee-jerk reaction to that, and yet they really don't understand what that is. That's why we're encouraging you to do your due diligence, to check this out, find out what it really means to you in your life. And here's something I share with people all the time. Reid, tomorrow, if you had to have surgery, would you want to have surgery from a surgeon that's been successful in his surgeries, or would you want to have a surgery from someone that, gosh, maybe they've lost half the patients they've ever worked on? Well, pretty much a no-brainer. You want the most experienced person, right? So
Absolutely.
Who do you ask for information? Where do you get your information regarding network marketing? Do you talk to someone who's had success in the industry? That's what we recommend you do. There are people who have had great success in this industry, and you should be picking their brains, asking questions of those people, not asking questions to somebody who's never had an experience with this industry. This is a profound industry with a tremendous impact in people's lives, and it's an industry that's just gaining traction right now, and it's gaining traction. One of the big drivers is this concept, this marketing system known as the ABC. Reid, how do we explain the ABC to somebody that might be new on this call tonight?
Well, we're in one right now. This is an ABC. You and I in this case should be the presenter.
Right.
The people watching this tonight will either be the Bs, which would be the consultants or the users,
right,
and their prospective customers or consultants,
right,
which would be the C. And it's up to the B to introduce them to the A, and just sit back and relax and let the A present.
Yes.
And watch that. And this is probably the oldest that I'm aware of a sales system ever in the world. I mean, they use it in all types of businesses, and it's always good to take somebody with you. In fact, as you know, Dennis, I've thrown out for years that one number that I read ages ago that said, you have an 80% greater chance of having success with someone in this business when you're not by yourself.
Yes, exactly.
When you have somebody, take somebody with you, introduce them to somebody on a three-way phone call or a video call or person to person, whatever, your odds of success skyrocket. And so it's an obvious no-brainer here.
Yeah, absolutely. And the system is in place. It's been utilized. It's what we've used to create our success in this business, and it's what you can use to create your success in this business. We're going to take a quick look at the Nikken business model. This is a very busy page, but take a moment to just look at that. And the concept, the idea here that we'd like for you to take away is this idea of leverage and time leverage. We understand compound interest and the idea of leveraging our money by putting it into account or investing it and allowing it to grow over time. But people don't really understand in our world because we're used to linear income. I make $10 an hour, I work for 10 hours, I get $100. And that concept they understand, but how to leverage that time to get a greater return, people don't really understand. So Reid, as we look at this slide, what is it really telling us?
Well, it's just telling you that a few people can do a lot of things, in reality. That lady up at the top left, the smallest picture you see, she's obviously decided to share this with some people, and the people across the bottom represent the people that actually joined her in the business. The people that are vertical on the side are ones that said, I really don't want to do the business, but I love your products. I want to be a customer.
Right.
So by going through numbers and seeing people, some people opt to get in the business and join you, perhaps as business builders, perhaps as just wholesale buyers. Don't know for sure. But other people decide just to be a customer. Right. Now, the one that's not shown there, probably the ones who just flat out said no. We don't want to show them.
That's why they're not there.
That's right. And one of those pictures is actually the second lady you see there in the middle. Across the bottom, she's one of those ladies, and she decided she wants to get in. So there's number 2, and she does the same thing. She's got some people to join and some other people to buy, and then one of the bottom picture there's another lady who decided, I'm going to join. And so it's just a matter of, like you said, we've learned we've learned it. We haven't learned it very well, honestly. We've learned how to leverage money, but not necessarily time. Right. And this leverage of time is hugely important, and that's really what we do.
Yeah, absolutely. So if I'm going to come on board and I'm going to invest 5 hours, maybe I only have 5 hours, but I sponsor you, well, that'd be great. If I sponsored you and you put 5 hours, suddenly there's 10 hours working on my behalf, 5 hours on yours, 5 hours on mine. That's a total of 10. And if we go out and work together and you sponsor 3 people and each of those 3 do 5 hours, that's 15, 20, 25 hours that's working in my business, but I'm only investing 5 hours to do it. Now, the power behind that is this compensation plan. I had my finger on the button and I twitched, so it come up a little quicker. So those of you that are watching tonight have had an opportunity to study this a little bit. Once again, more complex than what we have time to spend with you here. But understand this. You can have everything in life you want if you just help enough other people get what they want. And this compensation plan is really about you going out and making a difference for others. And as you create a team, as you impact other people's lives, you begin to develop an organization. And as it gets wider and deeper, it accrues greater benefit to you. There's multiple sources of income available through this compensation plan. But Reid, we have a real secret here we want to share with the folks tonight that are brand new. Would you give that to them?
Yeah, that's technical. Pay close attention. Down there at the bottom, you see a kind of a purple looking color that says direct. That's when you first sign up, you become a direct distributor, which means you can deal with the company directly, which everybody does. Very, very top there, kind of an aqua blue, is something that says Royal Diamond. The secret of this business is getting in and going as quickly as you can from the bottom to the top. Yeah. On the right hand, you see retail profits, wholesale profits, residual income, leadership bonuses, incentive programs. Well, those all occur as you climb the compensation plan. Right. And so, we just encourage you all to sit down with who put you on this call tonight, go through this with them, because it's very important.
Yeah, absolutely. Get your questions answered with regards to that. So the question we're going to ask you then is, what would make a difference to you? We have consultants that make $500, $1,000, $5,000, $10,000, $100,000 or more in this business. And for some of you on tonight listening, you might say, gosh, I can't relate to some of those numbers that are out there. That's okay. Relate with the numbers that do make an impact. And let me put this into perspective. For those of you who might be working right now in another line of work, another business, something like that, if your boss was to come to you today and say, I'm going to give you a $500 a month raise, would you turn it down? I think not. See, sometimes we don't really understand the value of what an additional $500, what that change might make in each of our lives. And if 500 is not enough to do what you need to do, well, there's opportunities for other. You know, Reid, when you got started, if I remember correctly, $5,000 was really what you were looking to do, or maybe it was 10, but you were looking at sort of the mid-range here, and it sort of got out of hand, did it not?
Yeah, we were looking for 5. We were accustomed to 10.
Yeah.
But having gone through a bankruptcy and stuff, we wanted to get up to 5 so we could at least breathe a little bit and then get back into life,
Right.
And yeah, and then it got out of hand. But I think that when you're accustomed to making a 6-digit income and you lose it, you want it back.
Absolutely.
And there's a lot of people out there like that. Dennis, this economic condition that's been going on here for a few years is very real, and it's hurt a lot of people. And we have a solution for that if we would just talk to them.
Yes.
And we that's our job. That's what we do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, take a look at this slide and then sit with the person who invited you and let them know this is what would make a difference to me. This is what I need. Maybe it's just to get your nose above water, or maybe it's to create the life that you want to live with for yourself and for your family. To take a look at that and have a discussion, because we can create literally a support system to help you to achieve that. And that brings up our next slide here, supporting your success. You're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. This is a company who has a series of programs involved, Humans Being More training. It's a self-development program, one of the most profound self-development programs. I know, Reid, you've been over 20 times. I've been over more than 20 times. It's something that just allows us to peel the layers of personal development and make us better, or help us to become better at who we are and what we do. We just returned from a leadership convention where new information and new products were released. There's international business support, product technology support, and probably the biggest piece of the puzzle here is what we're doing tonight. Perhaps you're on tonight as a new consultant with a guest, and you don't understand quite all the inner workings of the business yet. Well, there's a team that supports you. There's calls like this that are available for you to provide information. So the support is tremendous in this opportunity. Reid, anything to add to this?
No, it's just that, that the HBM training there, you see the very, very top, is a great program. It's something that makes us, it's very unique to Nikken. There's nothing in the industry like this.
Right.
And it certainly changed my head around what we had a hold of. It's a phenomenal, phenomenal situation.
Yeah, it's an amazing program. We encourage you to attend. I for a long time required my black belt candidate students. I teach martial arts, and my students, when they would become eligible to test for their black belt, one of their requirements was to attend this HBM. Even though they were not Nikken consultants, I felt it was powerful enough as an individual that they ought to go to that training. So as we wrap this up tonight, the question we're going to ask is, what are you looking for? Is it more free time, financial security, better health? Is it a way to make a difference? Is it a combination of all of these? When I got started, it was more free time. Actually, it was more time, period. I was operating 2 major businesses and a large martial arts school. I was working 7 days a week. I'd leave at 6:30 in the morning, get home at 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. My wife had become a single married mother. Maybe some of the ladies listening to this can relate to that. I was constantly out doing the dad thing. I was out doing the income. Today, oftentimes it takes both husband and wife to make the kind of income to live a lifestyle that perhaps they want to live. So I was looking for more free time. Nikken provided that. When I was introduced to Nikken, I made that decision. It happened for us very quickly. We don't know how much time it's going to take for you. We don't know your work ethic. We don't know, your sphere of influence. But we do know that Nikken can provide a path to you to more free time, financial security, better health, a way to make a difference. And this is absolutely huge in the world today because, as we mentioned earlier, we have many, many people who are looking for ways to make a difference, ways to improve, ways to have what we like to call financial freedom. We began this presentation tonight by talking about freedom. To me, financial freedom is having time and money and health and longevity to enjoy that. It's a combination. That is what freedom, that's an example of financial freedom and what that means to me. Well, Reid, as we wrap up tonight, what would you say to the folks that are on tonight that are brand new? This is their first experience at looking at Nikken, and they're trying to make some decisions. What would you encourage them to do?
Well, a couple of things, and I like to close with these all the time, Dennis. And it's, it's all about due diligence here. It's about making a good decision, a decision that's correct for you. My wife and I got involved in this business for three reasons. Number one was money. I mean, it was an obvious thing. We were broke. We were looking for a way not to be broke. I don't see anything very noble about being broke. Can't do anything. And so we need to make some money. Number two, we want to have some fun. You know, you get out there in the world, they don't talk much fun.
No.
You get out there in rush hour traffic, people are, I was walking to the mall yesterday, down to get some cable for the camera for Saturday's thing, and it was interesting that all the stores are hiring. What are they hiring for? Minimum wage, part-time jobs, and the people will gobble them up because they need that extra $300-400 a month.
Right. Yep.
Nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's very viable and it's okay, but we have a way to do that all the time, And so we wanted to have some fun, we wanted to make some money, and we wanted to help people, physically and financially, both. And we have solutions for all that. The second thing is, Dennis, is if you had $1 million in your hands and you were going to go out and invest that money in something, you would certainly do your due diligence before you put that money into anything.
Absolutely.
Well, this is what you want to do here too. And nobody's ever going to ask you for $1 million. You'll never have to do that. But treat it as if you were going to. Because if you did that, you check out the product, you check out the company, you check out us, you check it all out. And then you make a decision. So we advise you very, very much and strongly to do your due diligence and then come join us. I'll tell you what, there is nothing on planet Earth like this, and it's awesome. So we're after you. We want you to join us. So there you go.
Yeah, we're not very bashful. We want you to join us. We're looking to expand and grow, and we know we have something can impact your life and your family's life. We'd love to have you join us on the Nikken Highway. Good night, everyone. Bye-bye.